Tonight, tragedy strikes marine rescue. 2 crew members and a solo sailor dead after a nightmare chain of events off Ballina. Lives also lost on the M1 as a car goes off the road in the Tweed. Mortgage holders cop another interest rate rise, sparking a blame game ahead of the federal budget. Australian stars shine as fashion becomes art at the Met Gala. And Tari's Latrell Mitchell fronts his first media conference in 18 months to celebrate a mate.
This is NBN News with Natasha Bayersdorf.
Good evening. Marine rescue volunteers brave the seas year-round to save others. And sadly, last night, 2 of them never made it home. The men and a sailor aboard a stricken yacht losing their lives off Ballina in an incident that's rocked the Northern Rivers community.
The remnants of a rescue mission that took a tragic turn.
Last night was the darkest night in marine rescue history.
The alarm was raised at around 5:30 p.m. yesterday with a yacht spotted in trouble off the South Ballina breakwall.
Marine rescue promptly responded to a distress of a vessel at sea.
But that 6-person response by Marine Rescue aboard Ballina 30 also struck trouble while crossing the Ballina Bar.
That vessel capsized. As a result of that capsize, some of the marine rescue crew were trapped in the hull. Some were ejected from the vessel, and unfortunately, 2 lives have been lost.
62-year-old Frank Petch and 78-year-old Bill Ewan are being remembered as heroes. Of their 4 crewmates, 3 were taken to hospital, while police located the body of the lone sailor aboard the stricken yacht, Matthew Clayton, aged in his 50s.
But he was deceased and he was not wearing a life jacket at the time of his recovery.
The yacht sank. The nearby beach scoured through by emergency services today, trying to piece together the circumstances leading to the tragedy.
Our dive team will consider diving that area later in the week to recover critical evidence that we will use in part of that investigation and to find out a little bit more about the yacht and how it arrived at that location.
Locals today placed tributes for the 3 people who lost their lives as the community tries to come to terms with the tragedy. Marine Rescue confirming this command will remain closed for at least the next 3 days.
2 of the guys I enlisted with and a third I put through his radio course to go out on the boat.
We are assisting the New South Wales Police with their investigation into the circumstances that led to the tragic incident. However, our immediate focus remains on supporting those that have been affected by this tragedy.
The incident and the rescue is also the focus of the Premier.
And I want to pay tribute to their heroism, their sense of courage, their public-mindedness, and let them know that the people of New South Wales are in their corner today and thank them for their service to the state.
And reporter Tara Carrigan joins us now. Tara, what's the latest on the survivors?
Tash, the 3 Marine Rescue crew members remain here at the Lismore Base Hospital in a stable condition. Miraculously, the 4th survivor did not require medical treatment. Of the injured, Jeff Hutchinson suffered 6 broken ribs and a broken leg. He suffered 6 broken ribs and a broken leg. His wife, Deb, attending his bedside this afternoon. Another crew member who was winched to safety suffered multiple chest injuries. But Tash, all 3 members remain here at the Lismore Base Hospital and they're expected to make a full recovery.
Tara, thank you. Tragedy 2 further north at Chindera last night with 2 people killed in a horror crash. Bella Schwarzenegger joins us. Bella, the incident shut down part of the M1.
For a number of hours, Tash, 2 teenagers have died after crashing into a tree in Chindera in northern New South Wales. This tragedy unfolding at about 6 o'clock last night. It's understood that the car swerved into a hatchback and then into a van before then crashing into that tree. Now, the 19-year-old driver and his 18-year-old passenger, both of those men sadly died at the scene. As for the other passengers in those other cars, well, a 57-year-old woman and a baby have both been taken to Gold Coast University Hospital. The incident shutting down 2 lanes of traffic on the M1 for a number of hours, but those lanes of traffic have since reopened. Now, New South Wales Police are urging anyone with dash cam to come forward. Tash.
Bella, thank you. The Reserve Bank has hiked interest rates for the third time in a row, delivering another blow for the millions of Australians with a mortgage. Governor Michelle Bullock today conceded the war in the Middle East has made Australians poorer, and questions persist over whether next week's federal budget will help or hinder.
A rate hike hat-trick, and likely more to come. The Reserve Bank today voting 8-1 to raise the cash rate from 4.1% to 4.35%.
Now, I understand this is a really difficult time for households who are already facing higher fuel prices and other cost of living pressures, but we must get on top of inflation now so that it doesn't get away from us.
All three of last year's rate cuts now are raised. Interest rates as tight as they've been for almost 15 years. Compared with the start of the year, a family with an $800,000 mortgage is now paying the bank an extra $363 a month. The bank's wasting no time passing the hikes on in full.
Australians are already paying a hefty price for this war in the Middle East, and this decision will make things harder for people.
Inflation in Australia was already too high before the recent conflict in the Middle East began.
Everyone suffers from rising prices, but rate hikes hit mortgage borrowers and small businesses hardest. Florist Natalie Hollowbone is both.
Looks to me like we're all going to be affected by it.
With her flowers flown in from overseas, costs have already soared, and they'll go higher.
We're all just struggling to keep our head above water, put food on our table.
Looking at the forecasts, inflation's going to get worse, prices will rise further, and that's despite 3 interest rate rises so far this year.
It's hard. Those households with mortgages and debt, yes, this is hurting them immensely. The thing is, though, and I've said this before, inflation is actually hurting everyone, including those people.
With all of last year's rate cuts now reversed, it'd be tempting to say that borrowers are back to square one. But in the last year alone, the average loan size has risen by 10%. Of course, we're all worse off because the cost of everything is higher. And we're told inflation is still accelerating.
This oil shock, this that has been driven by what's gone on in the Middle East, this has complicated things immensely. It has made a trade-off for us much worse.
And with Tuesday's federal budget threatening to add heat to the economy while the RBA is trying to cool it down,
if you give cost of living relief to households who are up against their budget constraints, they tend to spend a large proportion of it.
It's over to you, Treasurer. Chris Kohler, NBN News.
So is the Treasurer on the same page as the Reserve Bank? Here's political editor Charles Croucher.
Jim Chalmers shared details of the budget with Michelle Bullock prior to today's decision. It clearly wasn't enough. The Treasurer and every mortgage holder are now relying on the full budget next Tuesday to at least help prevent further rate rises. The Governor says today's hit to households won't do anything for inflation for 6 months, so it's not even clear what the budget can do. What is clear is that any handout in the budget will likely be gobbled up the next time the RBA get together. So the old philosophy of do least harm seems to be in play tonight. When cost of living bites, even the pub feels the pinch.
We're just out here doing our best, and at the moment the conditions are providing it, making it very difficult. I'm not quite sure how long that can go for.
The opposition leader at a Canberra cafe and bar as budget speculation and attacks increase.
This government and this Prime Minister is incompetent, is fraudulent, and is a liar.
That speculation tonight, including a tax offset of around $250 for wage and salary earners, taking money from investment incentives like property and trusts and giving some back to workers.
We went to the election arguing for a better future. Measures such as the ones that we're talking about here are about just that.
If you go down this path, it will fuel inflation, it will give with one hand and then take even worse and harder with another.
The Reserve Bank not waiting to find out today.
And the Australian economy is getting absolutely pummeled by this war in the Middle East, and Australians are paying the price for that, and we're seeing that again today with this interest rate decision.
He promised Australians some time back that he'd beaten inflation and high interest rates, but inflation and high interest rates have beaten this Treasurer.
As the price of oil soared, more Australians looked to electric vehicles with the benefit of tax breaks. Now those incentives will be scaled back just for cheaper options, if you can find one.
Australians are making the choice to buy cheaper, cleaner, better cars.
The fringe benefit discount for electric vehicles to continue for Australians buying EVs under $75,000, with a smaller discount for cars between $75,000 and $90,000, but will no longer apply for more expensive models.
They can't stop spending money. It's a save for the budget, but it keeps that support going.
Charles Croucher, NBN News.
Detectives operating under Strike Force Angler have arrested a man at Bulambil Heights for allegedly possessing child abuse material. Detectives searched the property last night. Officers say they discovered gel blaster replica firearms, cannabis and electronic devices allegedly containing child abuse and bestiality material. The 36-year-old man was arrested and charged with 20 offences. He faced court today and was refused bail. Police say they'll continue to crack down on crime in Kempsey with plans for new operations to keep the community safe. The message came as a public meeting today heard from locals.
Doing business in Kempsey isn't easy. Just ask electronics store owner Josh Fairhall.
Well, just in our backyard alone, we've had quite a lot of crime. Actually, in the last 6 weeks, we've had a dog beaten up.
He claims raids on the shop's bins are regular, so too shoplifting, and that's led him to up security.
So it's a very common theme here in Kempsey.
Meeting with business leaders and community members behind closed doors today, Mid-North Coast Police Commander Shane Cribb says he's committed to fighting the issue.
We've dedicated our whole team to deal with the youth crime concerns that have been raised in Kempsey. I've got that running now.
Also a focus moving forward, an operation cracking down on illegal e-bikes and motorised scooters. He acknowledges other vehicles, though, remain a concern.
There's people riding around on unregistered motorbikes. I'm aware of that, but it's a fine balance as to what sort of operation I run. I've got to weigh up the risk involved with, I don't want to get involved with chases.
Police say they'll continue public meetings every 3 months and are eager for locals to attend and share their stories, which help officers determine how they allocate resources.
Today was a really important meeting for the community to gather and to talk to police about their experiences, and it was overwhelmingly positive to see that the concerns are actually already being addressed by the police.
The Oxley MP, meanwhile, raising broader concerns around the justice system.
Need to see a consequence come for the actions of repeat offenders.
Kendra Jewell, NBN News.
Fresh out of the academy, these police recruits were walking the beat in Coffs Harbour today as part of their induction to the force. This week, they're getting to know the community, meeting locals, visiting businesses and building connections.
A big part of this has been Bear Cop in your hometown and promoting that within the Coffs Clarence area and other regional areas as well.
Of the 10 probationary constables to graduate, 7 will be based in Coffs Harbour, with 3 in the Clarence Valley. The rail bridge at Old Bangalow Road in Byron Bay has a new look. Upgrades to replace the former timber span are complete, with the new structure now a widened steel arch allowing for 2 lanes of traffic. It can also accommodate heavier vehicles safely, with a weight limit of up to 42.5 tonnes. In a boost to recreational fishing in Port Macquarie, thousands of mulloway fingerlings have been released into the Hastings River in the past month. The key fishing location was selected as part of the New South Wales Marine Stocking Program. The program's aimed at improving recreational fishing opportunities across the state. Indigenous rangers are celebrating the return of koalas to a parcel of land ravaged by the Black Summer fires south of Evans Head. A combination of traditional knowledge and technology is now helping boost numbers of the marsupial in the area.
Burning 90% of the Minyamai Indigenous Protected Area, it was thought the 2019 bushfires also wiped out the local koala population, until an image captured on a wildlife camera 4 years later changed everything.
We come across a koala and we're like freaking out, like, wow, a koala, like we had no idea they were here, like they were once upon a time, but the highway pushed them away and the fires from earlier years.
The discovery was a huge boost for the Boorobi, or Koala, Monitoring and Recovery Project, tasked with watching the species closely.
I knew from like right then and there that I wanted to protect them and I wanted them to come back onto country.
So the Indigenous Rangers got to work to help restore country, starting with planting 2,500 habitat trees.
Doing a bit of bush regen, so clearing the lantana that's growing up around the base, so easier for the koalas to climb up in the tree.
A series of night thermal drone surveys brought about another breakthrough, the discovery of 6 koalas in 2024 and 9 in 2025. Scat was then collected and sent off for analysis.
The results came back real good, so they were like chlamydia free, and that's really really good. Like we're all happy to hear about that.
Technology and culture will coincide together, just so we can protect them and look after them.
And their work continues alongside the World Wildlife Fund.
Supporting Indigenous-led restoration is crucial if we're to pull koalas back from the brink of extinction.
Alison Paul, NBN News.
The residents of SeaWorld's Shark Bay exhibit are doing a little of the heavy lifting in an unconventional international leopard shark breeding program. Their eggs collected and transported from the Gold Coast to Indonesia, where they're being used to repopulate the endangered species.
Not only are we here to see the incredible work that's being done in the country, we also have the honour to be releasing one of the 6 SeaWorld Gold Coast pups that have so far hatched here.
More than 60 leopard shark pups have been released into the wild since the Reshark initiative launched in 2020. Turning to the weather now, a few showers about the region once again today, and they'll continue into tomorrow. Today's top temperatures, only 21 degrees at Taree. It was warmer as we head further north. Coffs Harbour 26, Grafton today topped at 30 degrees. Lismore had a top of 27, and at Coolangatta, the Gold Coast, 26 degrees. Still ahead in NBN News tonight, a safe touchdown for a flight from Coffs Harbour following landing gear concerns. Court proceedings for the man accused of killing a 5-year-old girl in the Northern Territory. And an anxious wait for 4 Australians amid a suspected deadly virus outbreak on a cruise ship.
Hungry Jack's Whopper just got a delicious makeover. Try the new Bistro Whopper with flame-grilled Aussie beef, Swiss cheese, grilled onions and peppercorn sauce. Or try the Bistro Jack's fried chicken. The burgers are better at Hungry Jack's.
This is the pinnacle of Australian sport, and the legend only continues to grow. Look out, Walsh! A spectacular aerial catch in the Magic of Origin. Absolutely.
Okay, Susie. Judy, do you want anything?
Cheers. Oh, no, I'm all right. I'm all good. All right.
Big Gas takes 56% of our gas for free, and our government is letting them. That's just taking the piss. Authorised by the Australian Institute, Canberra.
A Dexcom CGM goes where you go, helping to manage your diabetes with 0 finger pricks with less stress or interruptions. Get automatic, accurate glucose readings with high and low glucose alerts sent directly to your phone. Choose an easy CGM with Dexcom One Plus available to purchase online for people living with type 2 diabetes. Or Dexcom G7, now subsidised for Australians living with type 1 diabetes. To learn more, visit dexcom.com.au.
There's 162 steps in making a hat, and about 66 pairs of hands that each hat will go through. We're one of the only hat manufacturers in the world that actually makes them start to finish. It's pretty important that we maintain that because it's definitely a dying skill. And that's what makes our Kuba so special, is we're locally made by Australians for Australians.
On a Saturday, Maud normally organises her finances, but not today. Today, she's out tufting, guilt-free. That's because she switched to a better deal and got a $300 Finder reward. At Finder, we do the hard stuff, so you can do you stuff, like tufting, whatever that is.
Find a better deal for you. Find Finder.com.au.
starts here. We're here for the dreamers, the morning ponderers, the neighbourhood wanderers, the sample hoarders, the concept boarders, the curious display explorers. However you dream, there's an outback patio for you, made with Stratco How To.
A QantasLink flight from Coffs Harbour landed safely in Sydney this morning after suffering an onboard issue. The Dash 8 aircraft was forced to circle for half an hour after suffering a landing gear problem, but touched down just after 8:30. No passengers or crew were injured. Domestic abusers caught secretly tracking their victims could soon face jail time under new laws before New South Wales Parliament. But unions say it's not enough just to arrest perpetrators. They're now pushing for a whole new system to support survivors.
A campaign fronted by those on the front line.
We attend a domestic violence incident every 3 minutes.
Police, paramedics, prison guards, nurses and teachers tonight in a push to fortify the current safety net for survivors.
A frayed and failing patchwork of charities.
Calls for change born from tragedy. When Molly Ticehurst's alleged abuser was released on bail, she asked for Windows security screens and CCTV at her home, but a not-for-profit agency didn't install them in time.
They didn't have the capacity. 2 weeks later, that young lady was murdered.
Now the union wants a government takeover of all support services.
Ironclad, statewide and built to save lives.
A proposal modelled off a state-run centre in Mount Druitt, which helped both Bindi and Danielle with a dedicated caseworker.
She was able to liaise with the police, organise stuff for court. She found me the most incredible counsellor.
They quite literally saved my life. So this obviously shows that it is working. And it is something that needs to be far and wide.
But plugging a gaping hole in support services for victims would cost the state millions. The Premier instead focused on closing a legal loophole for abusers.
Stalking by digital device will be made a criminal offence.
New laws tonight before Parliament to curb a pattern of perpetrators using trackers and spyware to covertly monitor movements.
They are hiding behind technology. This is not on.
If it passes, the penalty will be up to 5 years behind bars. Liz Daniels, NBN News.
Author Craig Silvey could face time behind bars after pleading guilty to possessing and distributing child exploitation material. The 43-year-old was first charged in January after police raided his home and seized electronic devices. 2 other charges, including producing child exploitation material, have been dropped. His popular books, including Jasper Jones and Runt, were scrapped from stores and school reading lists when the allegations were made public.
What's your message to fans of your work who are disgusted by the charges?
Silvey will face court again in July. The Middle East is once more on the brink. The US and Iran have traded blows as they vie for control of the Strait of Hormuz. Tehran launching a barrage of missiles as 2 American Navy destroyers transited the shipping passage, while Washington says its forces have destroyed 7 Iranian small boats. 4 Australians are among more than 100 people quarantined on board a cruise ship in the Atlantic at the centre of a suspected deadly virus outbreak. The World Health Organization is helping investigate the potential lines of transmission.
Stranded at sea off the coast of West Africa.
We're not just a story. We're not just headlines. We're people.
US travel vlogger Jake Rossmarin is one of about 150 people anxiously waiting on board the MV Hondius as health officials raced to determine if it was hantavirus that killed 3 people and left several others fighting for their lives.
All we want right now is to feel safe, to have clarity.
4 Australian passengers are also on the ship.
Passengers are being asked to stay in their cabins and limit their risk while disinfection and other measures are being taken.
The dead include a Dutch couple and a German national. A British citizen is in intensive care in South Africa and is the only one who has so far tested positive to the virus. 2 others on board are being medically evacuated.
They have been with a big medical team, 2 doctors, 1 nurse and 1 lab specialist on the boat 3 times.
Hantavirus is usually transmitted to humans through contact with rodent droppings, but they're testing whether this strain is one that is easily spreading from person to person. It has an incubation period of up to 8 weeks. This was a weeks-long polar cruise from Argentina to Antarctica and then onto several isolated islands in the South Atlantic. This chef had been posting videos from the ship before the news broke, showing what a dream voyage this would have been until it turned deadly. In London, Josh Bavis, NBN News.
Coming up next, mass evacuations as a fireworks factory is rocked by a deadly explosion. Hunter researchers shed new light on the risks bushfire smoke can pose during pregnancy. And an Aussie actress front and centre at the Oscars of fashion.
Ooh, should have gone to Specsavers. The Specsavers Spextravaganza store sale is on. Get any 2 pairs for $199, save up to $200. Limited time only.
I'm telling you, they hacked the hackers.
Can we track it?
They intercepted $300 million worth of drugs.
And they caught some of the biggest money launderers in history. Really?
They keep kids safe online.
And Jen down the road works there.
At the Australian Federal Police, everyday people do legendary work in over 200 diverse roles around Australia and the world.
I reckon I could do that.
Everyday people, legendary work. Apply now.
Smoking is hard, but every time you choose not to smoke, you improve your health. Download the new My Quit Buddy app and get support when you need it. Choose your heart.
Yeah, to me.
Find tools and support to quit. Authorised by the Australian Government, Canberra.
Legs ache.
Haven't you tried Revitive? Revitive is clinically proven. It boosts circulation to relieve leg aches, pains, swelling and cramps. It's drug-free with hundreds of 5-star reviews. For relief that keeps mum moving, try Revitive.
Hi, I'm Beck, and I saved $336 on my car insurance with Yui.
And now to make it even more exciting. Woo! 336! She's done it! Yeah!
Yui, you insured.
It's OMF's Stock Take Sale with $25 million of stock. Buy any base, bed frame or bedroom item to get up to 55% off selected mattresses and up to 20% off selected bedroom furniture in Sunday at OMF.
Before you start, you've got to deal with the where on earth do I start? Then you remember the expert advice you got from Inspirations Paint. Okay, let's go. Before you start, visit Inspirations Paint.
The man accused of murdering a 5-year-old girl was due to face court today for the first time in Alice Springs, but didn't appear. And for Indigenous viewers, this story contains the name and image of a deceased person. Reporter Kiri Bleckensop joins us live. Kiri, he was excused.
Well, that's right. Jefferson Lewis had been expected to front court for the first time since being charged with the murder of Kumanjai Little Baby via video link from here in Darwin, but he was excused following a request from his legal aid lawyer. Inside the court, the judge acknowledged the family's deep loss and also their calls for justice to take its course. A brief procedural hearing followed as the family gathered outside the court. Police are alleging the 5-year-old was taken from the Old Timers Town camp on Anzac Day, sparking a major search before her body was found just 5 kilometres away last Thursday. Lewis was arrested the next day and flown to Darwin after riots erupted across Alice Springs. Today, A minute's silence was held in the Northern Territory Parliament. Lewis will return to court on July 30.
Kiri, thank you. 26 people are dead. More than 60 others have been injured after an explosion ripped through a fireworks factory in China's south. The country's president is now demanding answers and accountability.
An explosion fueled by fireworks, a factory torn apart. Secondary blasts rippling through the pillar of smoke as the pyrotechnics continue to detonate. The resulting cloud towering over Changsha City in China's Hunan province. More than 20 people were killed and dozens left wounded. The scale is staggering. Surrounding houses blown apart by the blast. Everyone within a 3-kilometre radius evacuated out of concerns of further explosions. Close to 500 people have now been deployed for the search and rescue operation. China produces around 2/3 of the world's fireworks. Incidents like this, tragic and all too common. President Xi Jinping now calling for a swift investigation and strict accountability for the company involved. Amber Caneen, NBN News.
A turbulent legal battle that played out in the tabloids has come to a close, with actors Blake Lively and Justin Baldoni reaching an out-of-court settlement. Lively had accused her It Ends With Us castmate of sexual harassment and orchestrating a smear campaign against her, an allegation which he denied. Dolly Parton has shared an update on her health, reassuring fans she's responding well to treatment, then revealing she's cancelled her upcoming Las Vegas residency. The country star describing herself as an old classic car that once restored can be better than ever. Hunter researchers have shed new light on the risk bushfire smoke poses to pregnant women with asthma and their babies. They've found that prolonged exposure can potentially impact an unborn child's development and result in complications at birth.
Smoke sprawled across suburbs as bushfires raged in the Hunter last December. Now, researchers have made a worrying find about what can happen when pregnant women with asthma are exposed to air like this.
Women exposed to 10 or more days of smoke exposure in their pregnancy were more likely to have a low birth weight baby, a baby who was born preterm, or a baby that needed to go to the neonatal intensive care.
The discovery, part of an ongoing study called Breathing for Life by the Hunter Medical Research Institute, led by Vanessa Murphy.
Those dangerous particles that come from the bushfire smoke can go deep into the lungs, affect their asthma, and there's concern about how that might affect the baby.
Pregnant during the 2019 bushfires, study participant Nadine Lowe tried to limit her exposure to the smoke.
I just was struggling so much. I was coughing every night, waking up with a sore throat and just really short of breath. I didn't realise the significance of the risk factors for that to my baby at the time. I learnt that later on when I became a part of Vanessa's study.
Thankfully, Nadine's youngest son remains asthma-free, thanks to good prevention. HMRI is now examining rates of asthma and the lung function of around 350 children, with a goal to provide pregnant women with more early intervention techniques to protect their baby's lungs. And with drier than average conditions and an elevated fire danger risk expected this year, there's a push to protect more asthmatic mums, especially in the early stages of their pregnancy.
All people with asthma should use an anti-inflammatory inhaler.
I just really appreciate what Vanessa is doing in terms of making a better future for mums and babies.
Lauren Kemp, NBN News.
The share market slipped today as investors considered the impact of renewed hostilities in the Middle East and a third consecutive interest rate rise. More now from Chris Kohler.
Investors expected the rate hike, but it was still a bit of a blow, with several economists now predicting the cash rate will head to 15-year highs from here. Westpac's half-year profit was in focus, the bank pulling in $3.5 billion over the 6 months, and on Wall Street, Atlassian rose another 5%, meaning it's now up more than 35% in a month. Overall, our ASX 200 edged 0.2% lower today after the price of oil jumped to a 4-year high following missile strikes. And the Aussie dollar is buying 71 US cents, 61 euro cents and 53 British pence tonight.
Another big-name international act is bound for The Hunter. This time it's American singer Post Malone. He'll headline this year's Strumming Bird Festival when it heads to Newcastle on October 17, joined by the likes of Bailey Zimmerman, Brad Cox and Max Jackson. The ticket pre-sale begins next Wednesday. Well, there was the daring, the dazzling and the downright bold this year's Met Gala in New York, serving up a show, and Australia's most fashionable were front and centre.
A green carpet runway for the world's biggest stars.
Oh, I wanna dance with somebody.
On their way to paint the town red. Fashion's biggest night, given a 3-word dress code. Fashion is art. And the thing with art is, it's up for interpretation.
Heidi! Yes! What the hell's going on? Fashion is art, art is fashion. I look hard, but I'm soft. I'm totally...
It's like
I can sit, I can eat.
Tonight, a hands-on approach, an explosion of sparkle, at times a metallic colour palette with a brush of barely there. The Met Gala delivering a Louvre-worthy gallery of looks. Our own Golden Girl dazzling in ruby red. Nicole Kidman, a co-chair of the event, with a perfect floral addition, daughter Sunday Rose.
She has to go to school tomorrow morning,
And
so...
you're going to school tomorrow, Sunday, right?
Yeah, we're at school
I love
by 8 a.m., so...
I love that. Well,
keeping it real.
A family affair too for the one and only Queen Bee. Beyonce marking her first Met Gala in more than 10 years, decked out in a bedazzled skeleton with daughter Blue Ivy and husband Jay-Z.
It feels surreal because my daughter's here. And Blue looks so beautiful. She looks so beautiful.
Sporting greats off the courts, serving up style, big screen stars and pop sensations. The annual gala at the Metropolitan Museum of Art raising millions for the Costume Institute, and tonight was certainly a celebration of the daring, a chance to throw out practicality, where age is just a number and where fashion truly is a work of art. In the United States, Lauren Tomasi, NBN News.
Adam Murray's here now with sport. Adam, Latrell Mitchell, well, he did something today he hasn't done in 18 months.
He did. Good evening, Tash. To the surprise of everyone, he spoke at a media conference. Coming up, we hear why the Tari star decided to break his public silence. Also ahead, a look at the PNG Chiefs facilities that helped lure Jerome Luai, and Man City stumbles in the Premier League title race.
I know I don't always show it, but winning does excite me. So, when I see a chance to get ahead, I will change things up. I mean, why would you want anything less than the best? It's why I switched to Google Pixel. Gemini, help me come up with a race win speech that sounds like it came from me.
You'd say something like, thanks.
Perfect.
So you're planning a trip overseas. You've saved the reels, dropped the pins, found the flight, booked the room. I'll stay high. Checked your passport? Don't book it. But do you know if your medication is legal where you're going? Or if drinking alcohol affects your travel insurance? Or what if you get pickpocketed? Get official advice, essential warnings, and important tips at smarttraveller.gov.au and know before you go. Authorised by the Australian Government, Canberra.
For years, we've been afraid of them. Now it's time for them to be afraid of us.
Rise up and fight for your freedom!
If you want to fight, then let's fight together.
We'll use all of our friends, everyone and anyone who hates Gilead, to finally declare enough.
Series 3. More battery life, more performance, more AAA games, all in a laptop this thin. Work, play, create, like never before. The all-new Intel Core Ultra Series 3 processors, now at Harvey Norman.
Let Aussie Digger reignite your camping adventures with Austrail, Outdoor Connection, Caribbean, Black Wolf, Coleman, Wild Track, Campfire, Companion and lots more. All your camping needs in one single location. Aussie Digger. Shop in store or online.
With blinds this good, Chester won't miss the view. And with 50% off everything, you won't either.
Factory Direct. Book your free measure and quote today.
Best sheds, up to 40% cheaper. Farm sheds, 12,500. Industrial buildings, 19,300.
Best Sheds flash sale on right now. Save 30%.
Call Best Sheds on 1800 15 17 18.
Ever looked at your super statement and wondered what the fees are for? I'm Ivy and this is the Super Helpful Scoop. Most super fees fall into three buckets: admin fees for running your account, investment fees for professional fund managers who manage your investments, and insurance premiums for life, disability and income protection. These help keep your super fund running smoothly and help protect you financially if life throws you a curveball. Head to aware.com.au/fees for more details.
Of the three players listed to speak at the Rabbitohs today, Latrell Mitchell wasn't one of them, but he made the shock decision to end his media ban anyway. The Taree superstar speaking for the first time in 18 months, reflecting on the work he's done off the field to become a better person.
It's the media conference, 18 months in the making, and no one saw it coming.
How are you? Welcome to television.
South Sydney superstar Latrell Mitchell volunteering to front the cameras to celebrate one of his closest friends.
For Stretchy. Big Campbell's playing 150 this week, so he's one of my great mates, one of my all-time teammates, and very proud of him.
Mitchell crediting Graham and the rest of his Bunnies teammates for his incredible form in 2026 and his relaxed demeanour off the field.
Just happy to be here, but obviously you can tell by the smile on my face. I love every single one of them. They all got their different traits and personalities, and I tend to connect with a lot of them. But I just think it's just all coming back to who them boys are and who you stand next to you and who you are into, and connection and all that stuff that comes into play as being good teammates.
Despite the smiles and some jokes, the premiership winner was hesitant to talk about himself. A white powder photo scandal from 2024 was off limits, but Mitchell is adamant he's a far more mature person than he was when that incident took place.
I reckon I've made myself that, mate, to be honest. this is my family. I've got to be the leader there and turn myself into, I guess, a role model for my kids. And just for me, it's just all about giving back to them and showing them that, it is what it is sometimes, and you just got to keep doing what you need to do and not kick stones and get on with your job.
With Latrell now comfortable speaking to media, there's hope that one of the game's most powerful voices will do so more often. He could be back in front of the cameras in just 2 weeks if he's selected for State of Origin.
Yeah. Kettle's still boiling, man. I love the Blues. New South Wales, that's what we represent. That's why we play out here and represent the Rabbitoh, but when we put the blue on, it's a different story.
Nicole Dunn, NBN News.
The PNG Chiefs insist fears over the safety of players and their families living in Port Moresby have been blown out of proportion. Reporter Zach Bailey has taken part in a tour of the expansion club's facilities with Kira Peters, the wife of the Chiefs' inaugural coach, Willie.
The Chiefs' First Lady meeting Papua New Guinea's Prime Minister, James Marape.
What a lovely man. He's got such beautiful energy. He's a good person.
Fresh off 3 flights from the UK, Kira Peters was given her first look at where she'll call home in Port Moresby. How excited are you to get over here and actually settle in as a family?
Oh, it'll be amazing. For everyone. I think you can make such a difference to a country.
Given a tour of the Airways Hotel by Chief CEO Lorna McPherson.
This is one of the restaurants?
This is one of the restaurants, yeah.
Coach Willie Peters' wife and son impressed with the facilities, which include a pool, day spa and hair salon, tennis court, gym, restaurants and a playground. What do you think of it now?
Yeah, good, but hot.
They'll also have access to the private Lolawata Island Resort. And you've got a private beach for you guys to use as well.
Yeah, private island.
Private island, sorry.
Yeah, it's pretty special.
Still under construction, the players and staff residence. By November next year, 67 purpose-built apartments will be ready to house 300 Chiefs officials.
We're creating a village, and it's a whole of life aspect. It's a lot more green, a lot more open space than I guess the other facilities around Port Moresby. We're also having retail, a large scale 7-Eleven, and a medical centre as well.
While players and staff will enjoy a safe and luxurious lifestyle inside the team's village, the reality is Port Moresby is still one of the most dangerous cities in the world. High levels of crime and tension between rival tribes mean expats and tourists must always be on high alert.
I think security is always something that we always need to make sure that we take precautions with as well. But, do I worry about what I do as a person and an individual? No. Would I bring children? My kids came here, went to school, they went in the school bus in the morning and they came home in the school bus, so without any security. So, I think it's blown out of proportion.
Are you concerned at all about your safety, Willie's safety, your kids' safety?
Not at all. Just coming off the plane this morning, I felt safe.
In Port Moresby, Zach Bailey, NBN News.
No changes to the Knights starting side this week to face the Dragons, with coach Justin Holbrook sticking with the same 13 who clinched a 4-point win over the Bunnies. It's the first time this season he's been able to field the same lineup 2 weeks in a row. The only change is on the bench, with Harrison Graham brought back into the 6-man interchange. Manchester City has handed the Cities gifted the Toffees an equaliser before conceding a further 2 goals. But City launched a late fight back to salvage a 3-3 draw and now trail the Gunners by 5 points with a game in hand. Coming up next, the remarkable recovery Jess Hull is using as motivation as she targets Commonwealth gold.
Try some? Excuse me, can I try some too?
Is our expertise.
Whoa, classic save, but not as classic as the $315 you saved by switching to Yui. How's that?
Just call them.
Classic Matt. Classic Narelle.
Yui, you insured.
Yo, R-I-C-E. Let's cook it. Rice, baby. Alright, stop. Grab a plate and listen. Rice is back with a whole new dimension. Rice, baby.
Gifts for Mother's Day.
Fisker's Plum Care Detailer, only $29.95. Northcote Pottery Wildflower Indoor Pot, just $17.08.
Happy Mother's Day.
Love you, Mum.
Bunny's Warehouse.
Lowest prices are just the beginning.
For top quality meals, you need premium cookware. You can get premium cookware for free by shopping at Woolies. Just scan your Everyday Rewards card and you'll earn 1 credit for every $20 you spend. Shop to upgrade yours for free.
Whether it's the tricky way or the cheerful way, the weekday way or the your day way, however you enjoy it, life's a little more delicious than a Tellaway.
Nothing but smooth sailing tonight. Baby, nothing but smooth sailing tonight.
Smooth inside and out. The new CRV Honda.
Is stress and mild anxiety ruling your life and making it impossible to sleep or even to focus? Stress isn't just in your head, it starts in your gut. Introducing Caruso's Anxiety Ease Probiotic. Caruso's Anxiety Ease Probiotic relieves symptoms of stress, mild anxiety and sleeplessness. It also supports focus and maintains energy levels. If you're tired of letting stress rule your life, try Caruso's Anxiety Ease Probiotic today from leading pharmacies and health stores.
40 Winks 40 Frenzy is here. Shop our exclusive range of Temper products. Get 50% off the Cool Quilt Pro Plus mattress, Ergo adjustable base range, and 30% off Temper's pillows for a limited time. Terms, conditions, and exclusions apply. 40 Winks, serious about sleep.
If you're born to go your own way, you know you need gear you can trust. You need proper grunt for getting through the tough stuff, real muscle for towing stuff, and solid reliability to fully disconnect and keep on going. Since 2008, the Isuzu D-Max has helped thousands of Aussies go their own way. And now, more than ever, adventure is everywhere. Go find yours with the Isuzu D-Max.
This report brought to you by Ballina Golf and Sports Club.
From taking a tumble to an Australian title, Jess Hull's Nationals campaign was one of incredible recovery. Now she's using the experience as fuel for the next block of competition as she eyes the Commonwealth Games in Glasgow.
Jess Hull hit the deck in the 1500-metre final at the Australian Championships, but it was what happened 2 days later that she's holding on to.
Think about Friday night when she was on the track and had to pick herself up. Well, pick herself up she has.
By the time the 5K rolled around, I felt more in a better space physically and mentally to just go for it and put the weekend to rest.
She claimed the 5,000-metre title in front of a packed crowd, making the moment even more special.
It was just insane, and I was tearing up behind my sunglasses. So it's just really special because I was the kid that loved athletics and just wanted to see our athletes do so well on the world stage.
And it's something the Olympic silver medalist will carry with her through a lengthy stint overseas.
Commonwealth Games is the big focus, and then what we can squeeze out of late August, early September, just depends where the mind and the body can lead me, as long as we stay healthy.
First stop, though, the Wanda Diamond League opener in Shanghai next Saturday, and Hull is all in on her pet event in 2026.
We've been dancing around it a fair bit, and we'll go back to dancing around it next year, but in a Commonwealth Games year where the mile is the priority, I think just being very callous to the 15 going in.
While she's been training out of the Hunter for a number of years, she's now officially put down roots in Newcastle and plans to stay long term.
We've kind of just used it as training base, but over the last 6 months, we've been here intermittently in bigger blocks. We really do like it here, so this will be home for the rest of my career, so hopefully 2032.
Montana Claire, NBN News.
Lennox Head's Connor O'Leary came close to claiming his second victory on surfing's championship tour yesterday. Instead, he had to play second fiddle to Ethan Ewing, but still climbed up the world rankings.
A tough competition. Lennox Head's Connor O'Leary going head-to-head with world number 4 Ethan Ewing in the Gold Coast men's final. O'Leary dominating the competition until this point, putting on a stellar performance in his semi-final and advancing.
You picked off the big sets, you got the big scores, the backhand is looking fire. Mate, congratulations, you're into the final here at the Bonsoy Gold Coast Pro, presented by GWN.
Hell yeah, let's go the Goose!
Even receiving the tick of approval from Northern Rivers local actor Chris Hemsworth.
Who's going to win this thing? Good question. I'm going to go Connor O'Leary. Looking phenomenal this morning.
But Queenslander Ethan Ewing was also in top form at Snapper Rocks, O'Leary gaining a slight edge in the opening exchange.
Yeah, there's that backhand vertical attack that we've seen all day long, all week long. And Connor, so these guys just really starting to settle in.
Ewing soon returned fire, posting 8.33 and 6 to beat.
Gosh, it reminds me, honestly, of an F1 car just zipping around the track here. He just slams that little lip line there, quick check snap, deep bottom turn.
O'Leary needing 6.67 to take home the gold by the time the final buzzer sounded.
Ethan Ewing, a champion at Jeffreys Bay, a champion at Bells, a Queenslander, lets the clock run out the horn.
O'Leary will make his next WSL appearance at the New Zealand Pro on May 15. Isabel Gallagher, NBN News.
A push is underway to get lawn bowls into the Olympics and Paralympic Games, with a nationwide tour rolling through regional clubs. Today, the long roll stopped at Sawtell and Coffs Harbour.
Before this morning, Australia was leading the rest of the world 7-5, but the tables turned in Sawtell after a strong display of precision and strategy. The long roll now heading to Yamba tomorrow, with Team Australia only one win in front.
Standard's always very solid. It's very hard to win a game at Sawtell. It doesn't matter who you play.
This continuous battle draws fresh players from local clubs at each stop and is part of a bigger push to get lawn bowls onto the Olympic and Paralympic stage.
We've got everything that is worthy of a sport being in the Olympics. The respect, the skills required, the grassroots support, the community spirit. Bowls is played all around the world, and we think it would be a great sport for the Olympics.
Organisers say the response to the long roll along the East Coast has been overwhelming, including at Sawtell, where dozens of locals joined the two marquee teams, showcasing a range of ages, abilities and motivation for playing.
Bowls saved my life. To be truthful, I was going through some depression, and I took the game up as rehabilitation initially, and really it got me in a totally different headspace, which was really wonderful. So I give a lot back to the game now.
The heritage of the game also in focus ahead of wrapping up in Brisbane next week.
We started in Sydney at the Balmain Club. It's the oldest affiliated club in New South Wales, and we bowl at 32 clubs up the coast, and we finish at the Windsor Club in Brisbane, which is the oldest affiliated club in Brisbane.
Britt Ramsey, NBN News.
And the Hunters' Noah Douglas is celebrating his maiden V8 Derb Modified Sportsman title after collecting the silverware at Toowoomba. Wollumba's Seaton Young was crowned Australian champion. And Tash, that is our look at sport.
Adam, thank you. Stay with us. We'll check the weather details right after the break.
Farmers losing the lot to wild deer, destroying everything in their path. The big debate on how to get them under control. Tonight at 7.
The Cedar Top is a lonely place. But right now, it's the most crowded it's ever been.
One slip, and it's all over.
Oh, he's missed it! He's missed it!
The Premier League.
Your unforgiving fight for immortality.
Oh, that's outstanding!
The Champions League. The Icons. This is where the best on earth collide.
Oh, my goodness gracious me!
The Emirates FA Cup. The Dreamers against the Giants.
What a glorious goal!
The Europa League and Conference League. Every minute is a fight for survival.
Oh, that is superb!
In the Women's Super League, Australian superstar Mary Fowler is looking to create history.
Oh, and it's in! Mary Fowler!
6 trophies. History on the line.
Only on the Stan Sports. Only one question remains. Who wants it more?
China is on sale with Tripperdeal. Experience Warriors of China, now from $1,399 per person, including flights. Discover the Great Wall, the Terracotta Warriors and more. Search Tripperdeal now.
My mom likes hugs. She always likes beautiful things. You are my heart. I love you, Mom. Happy Mother's Day.
I'm doing light and easy because there is such a variety and everything is just delicious. I can have one pasta meal, a rice meal, and then I'm going to have a salad, then I want a steak, and it just takes all that stress away. And you don't have to worry or basically lift a finger. With the help of Light and Easy, I've been able to lose 10 kilos and I just feel fantastic. When we eat well and we nourish ourselves, then yeah, true happiness can come out of that. And Light and Easy definitely has helped with that.
Lose weight without losing the joy of eating. Start Light and Easy today.
Come to Watson's Leisure Centre for all your outdoor needs, with new and used caravans and motorhomes for sale or hire, plus spare parts, accessories, services, repairs and upgrades. The Watson's Leisure Centre will make your life of leisure easy.
Dectomax V is a brand new cattle drench containing 2 actives, average efficacy of 99.8%, ideal for weaners and growing cattle. Twice as tough on worms. New Dectomax V, premium performance for leading cattle producers.
Best Sheds, up to 40% cheaper. American Barns from $9,250.
Best Sheds flash sale on right now. Save 30%.
Call Best Sheds on 1800 15 17 18 or check out our range at bestsheds.com.au.
Won't you please, please help me, help me.
We've helped Australians for 100 years. Now we're helping protect and prepare them for the next 100.
A few showers continuing across the region into tomorrow, and then we'll see a clearing trend set in. A cloud band is bringing those showers to northeast New South Wales and southern and inland Queensland. The remainder of the country is clear and dry, with the exception of an odd shower in western Tasmania, Victoria and southern WA. Tomorrow we can expect some more showers and storms in the region, being triggered by unstable air over northeast New South Wales and southeast Queensland. A cold front will bring gusty showers and strong winds to the southeast of the country. Looking at today's top temperatures, 21 degrees at Taree, fairly mild there. Got warmer as we headed further north, Kempsey 24, Coffs Harbour topped out at 26, quite warm at Grafton 30 was the day's maximum. Tomorrow's looking partly cloudy. We've got a high chance of showers in the north of the region, only a slight chance elsewhere with some light winds. Temperatures will be on the milder side, 24 on the way at Grafton and Coffs Harbour. Down the coast for Nambucca Head, Southwest Rocks and Port Macquarie, and at Foster tomorrow, a range of 12 to 24 degrees. Looking offshore for the Coffs Coast, seas a metre, the swell 2. Winds will be south-southeasterlies at 20 knots. On the Macquarie coast, the winds southerly, getting up to 15 knots. Checking tides, we've got a morning low at 10 minutes past 5. That's 0.49 of a metre. The highs coming in at 10:52. We've got sun rising at 6:19 and setting at 9 minutes past 5. Looking further ahead now, those showers easing by Thursday at Coffs Harbour. It'll be partly cloudy but mostly dry at Port Macquarie over the coming days. Cooler conditions as well can be expected by the end of the week at Taree. 22 the top expected on Friday. The rain easing after tomorrow at Grafton too, but returning again early next week. And that is NBN News. A current affair is up next and we'll have updates throughout the evening. Thanks for your company from all the team here. Good night.